What's up, guys? Welcome to the Untold Stories. This is episode 2 of the Athlete Edition. If you're new here, welcome. I'm super excited for you if you're watching or listening. If you don't know me, I am your host, Briana Garcia, and I'm super excited to be here. The Untold Stories is just about getting to know the Baylor athletes and getting to know their stories, whether that be in their sport, whether that be in faith, whatever it is. I'm just getting to know them more than an athlete. So today I'm super excited. I'm here with Jared McKenzie.
Thank you, Bree. I'm excited to join.
I'm super excited. So Jared is a sophomore?
Yeah, junior in the classroom, sophomore on the field.
Okay, awesome. He is from Round Rock, Texas, and he's a business major. He plays outfield. And are you a lefty?
Lefty.
Okay, I'm a lefty too. Jared has incredible accolades. The list is so long. I just picked like 4 of a few. So he's played 2 seasons at Baylor University, kind of like 1.5 seasons, I would say.
Yeah, 1.25.
1.25.
Feels like.
Yeah, so 2020, when he was a freshman, he was collegiate baseball freshman All-American and all Big 12 rookie team, which is incredible. He was ranked 12th nationally and that was the most by any rookie in the country, and that was with 28 hits. So I'm not going to lie. I don't know a lot about baseball, but just kind of going over like articles about you and things like that, it's really interesting and makes me want to get to know the sport more. And then in the 2021 season, Jared was the 2021 Perfect Game Rawlings third-team All-American, and then in 2021, he was first-team All-Big 12, and he is currently the all-time batting average leader in Baylor history, and that's with a .389 average. And I know that that's really good. So I think that's amazing. So how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
You talked a lot about me, but I'm glad that we have this opportunity to do this. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. So one question that I just kind of start off that I did with the last athlete is why you chose Baylor. Yeah,
I think it was actually extremely hard. Baylor was the first school that I ever took a visit to. I was a sophomore in high school, and I loved playing baseball. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't something that I didn't know if I was good enough or not to go play at the next level. And I always remember I was like, oh, I'll go play at San Angelo State, Division II, or that was like my dream at the time. And then I came to some camp here, and then I had the opportunity. Baylor called me on my way home, actually like 5 minutes outside of Waco. That was the first school I ever talked to, and I was on cloud 9 at the time. And it was cool, and then I had to take about, I want to say I came up here 3 or 4 times before I was given an opportunity to actually come here and play. It was the first school I talked to, the last one to give me the opportunity, but by far, I mean, there was a lot that went into it, but I think with my background, my family, and the ability of coming here to grow in my faith and pursue the game of baseball at a Big 12 at the Big 12 level, I think was an opportunity I couldn't pass. So I've loved every moment of it. Yeah, no,
I think that's incredible. And like I said at the beginning, you kind of had that 1.25 type of season. So can you explain kind of what 2020 was like for you as a freshman and like getting your season cut so short due to COVID?
It was extremely hard. I mean, I know you can relate to that. Every athlete anywhere can relate to that. But looking back at it, I was a freshman, so I was new to what college baseball was going to be like the entire year. So when it didn't pan out like I thought it was, there wasn't also a whole lot of expectations because I didn't know what it was, what was going to be like. And we had gotten off to such a great start, and there were so many older guys too that I looked up to a lot. Nick Lofton, for example, really good baseball player here. He got drafted a couple years ago, who was a guy every day I'd sit there and look at him at practice. What is he doing? How can I get better? And then to know that, man, I'm not going to have a guy like him to look at anymore after the 16 games that we played out of the 52 that we were supposed to play. It was really hard to be kind of – I had to understand, hey, this is the new reality. But so many other people did too, and it was just a matter of how to overcome that.
Yeah, no, like when that all happened for like track, I was kind of explaining to you this yesterday. It was like, we thought it was just like we were going to be missing like one track meet, right? Exactly. And I don't know if that was the same thing for y'all. Was it like y'all just thought maybe, hey, we're going to miss one travel game?
We went to Cal Poly and we flew back, and this was at the time nobody knew what COVID was, and everything started to get canceled. And then they just said, hey, y'all, season is canceled out of nowhere. And then they made the entire baseball team quarantine because somebody at the airport that we flew out of got COVID.
Wow.
But nobody knew that it was close contact, how long you were there, what any of the terms are for COVID. So
that's crazy. I do remember y'all were playing Cal Poly because I had some people go there and watch y'all. So, okay. But yeah, like you said, a lot of people went through it, but we're back and Amen. Things like that. So I know you also talked about, is it kind of like a team Bible study? I'll call it the porch.
The porch.
Okay. Can you go into explaining about that?
So Harris Creek is the church here in Waco that a lot of guys introduced me to when I first got here as a freshman. And then we've been able to, as the years go on, teach the younger guys, invite the younger guys to come to church. And the pastor there, JP, he does, when at his old church, he did this thing called the porch, which it gave a lot of opportunities for younger adults to talk about stages in their life, things that they would experience during that time. And so, which is the age group that we currently are in. And I think this has been going on for 5 or 6 years now with the baseball team, maybe even longer, before I got there at least. And every Tuesday now is what we do it. We have a group of guys who come. Our goal is to try and at least invite somebody else each week and get a new face there, and hopefully they keep coming. But just to grow in our faith and what the Word has to tell us and how to disciple others and evangelize. And I think that's a huge thing that Baylor's helped me definitely grow in. Yeah,
and can you see a difference like on the field whenever y'all have like a lot of people come there and y'all talk about more things other than baseball?
Totally. And I think the hardest part for me is at first when I got to Baylor, I knew I was coming here to play baseball. And now looking at my opportunities and experiences here, I'm able to finally say, hey, baseball is what I do, but it's not who I am. And so for me to come to that knowledge, I have to give all the credit in the world to the younger guys or the older guys now who encouraged me to grow in my faith. And it's been tremendous.
Yeah, no, we talked about it on the last episode. It's like we have a Bible study as well. And just kind of seeing, and we have a huge team too. We have like 60 girls on the track team.
Way more than us.
So it's really cool to just get on a deeper level and just seeing like in practice of how much it makes a difference. So I think that's really cool that y'all do that as well. Exactly. And then this past summer, kind of switching gears a little bit, you went to Massachusetts. You went to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and you played for let me make sure I'm saying it right, Orleans Firebirds, right?
That's right.
And can you just explain that experience? Like, were there things that you learned and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was my time here at Baylor has definitely been very positive, I'd say. And it was the first time in a long time that I'd really been challenged with the game of baseball. And it also, I think because of that, challenged me in my faith, which was super cool. However, I went up there. It was still probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. I loved every bit of it. Now, I say I loved every bit of it. I struggled on the baseball field, right? However, there was so much more than baseball there that I was able to experience. And when I was on the baseball field, that was one of those events where I'd go out there and I'd struggle. And looking back, now it's been 2 months since I've been there, I'm able to realize, hey, you went there, you got tested, you had to go through those trials and tribulations. However, you're able to grow and look back and learn and reflect on, hey, don't do this again. What did I do well? To where just you grow as a player. And then, but other than that, I think if anybody gets to go up there and visit, take the trip. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I've never been.
It's beautiful.
I've never been up there before. So do you think you learn more from the things that you're struggling in, Like, do you think it humbles you and makes you, like, realize, like, hey, maybe this is something that I need to work on?
Yes, exactly. And I think a lot of times we can get caught up in the fact that when you do have success and you're doing so well that you forget what the hard times are like. I say the hard times, but just when I know for me personally as an athlete, you set goals and expectations, and whenever you fail to meet those, you're hard on yourself because you're so competitive. And so I think definitely I have to look back and reflect and say, hey, this is where you are, but you're going to be okay. Like, you've been here before. You can get back there. Just keep working.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that is super cool that you went through that experience. And yesterday we also talked about some things about education. So your mom is an assistant principal, right?
She is. She loves to get on me about my grades.
Yeah, no, I think that's super cool. And you had maybe the chance to go out of high school pro, correct?
Yeah, I had. I was talking with quite a few teams, and if I really wanted to, I probably could have gone. But she's my mom, and with her being assistant principal, she constantly, I mean, always growing up, school always was first. And so with Baylor being such a great university, athletics-wise, but also looking at the academics too, it was the perfect opportunity for me to come here. And she made sure that I'd come and start my degree at least and get on that track and make sure that I get my grades taken care of and take care of school, and then baseball, we'll see where that takes me.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool that you're able to get your education while playing the sport you love. I think that's a really big thing that maybe other baseball players have. So can you give some advice to maybe someone that might be in high school that could be going through the same thing of, like, not knowing, should I go pro or should I go to a college and get that college experience? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that goes to show really how I did have that opportunity and I was thinking about it, yet I knew, hey, if I come here to Baylor, I didn't know what to expect. However, I knew I was going to get that education. But to the younger people, I mean, trust me, you meet so many new people. You have those friends that will last you forever. And like I said, granted, we play baseball and you run track and that's what you do, but there's so much more to your sport and what you do. So it's an opportunity to definitely experience life that you haven't before. Don't get me wrong, baseball is great and I love it. However, coming to college is so much fun. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of athletes try to, like, sink in as their, like, identity is in sports, right?
Yes.
I think that's what a lot of athletes struggle with whenever they graduate college. They're like, oh my gosh, what do I do next? Mm-hmm. So that's good that you're able to find other things than baseball. And that leads into my final question, and this is what I ask most of my people that I'm be having on the podcast, is what makes you more than an athlete?
Oh, do I got to pick one thing? I feel like this is like a Joe Rogan podcast where we're
It is.
Like,
this is legit. A conversation.
I love it.
Yeah, no, you can be whatever you want.
I think what makes me more than an athlete overall has to be my family, and I put my faith first, because when you do that, it gives you so much more, gives you a greater perspective on life other than what you're here at Baylor necessarily for. And I think understanding that if you're grounded in your faith, and you have the people in the community to support you in that, then it'll take care of the other stuff such as baseball and school and whatever other hobbies or things you enjoy doing. So totally. Yeah,
no, I think that's awesome. And I actually have a random question from myself. I saw your number 18, and I love that number. That's like my second favorite number. It reminds me of my brother. And I wanted to ask you, why did you pick number 18? Does it have, like, any significance?
Pretty much none. I mean, has a little bit. I grew up, I was always number 2. And then when I got to high school, my high school coach just gave me 15. So then I was 15. And then I was like, all right, I'll ask for 15 when I get here to Baylor. But since somebody else is 15, so here's 18. So I got you. 18's what I roll with. But it's been working. It's working. We're going to keep it. It's been working really well. That's right. Okay, so for the last segment of the podcast, I kind of go into answering questions. I posted kind of like the podcast on Sikkim 365, so I'm going to go through like maybe a couple of those, maybe like 4 of them. And I usually am not good about saying the people's names, okay? All right. So my first one is from DC Bear, and he asked, when or if you watch baseball games,
how do you watch it, or how might that be different from a person who has not played the game? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is kind of off topic. I'm going to come back to it. My dad, for like his hobby, he officiates high school and college football, and I can't watch a football game with him because the entire time he's saying what's going to be a foul, or he would call a penalty here, and there, and he's just not watching the football game. And so for me, I don't know if people – I watch baseball with a lot of other baseball players, but I have to – I mean, everything that I watch on TV, I try and think, okay, what they just did, how can I do that when I'm playing, or how could I do it better? Now, they're the big leaguers and they're the pros, but if that's your ultimate goal, I try and always match what they're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, are you a very technical person?
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's
I try
really
to be.
good. That's super good. I am not like that at all. Okay, and this question also comes from DC Bear. He asked, when did you believe / know you were good enough to go to the next level?
I'd say probably my senior year of high school, because junior year I committed to Baylor before my junior year of baseball, and that was my first time on varsity, and I didn't play too great my junior year, and so it was still uncertain, am I good enough? I didn't know what the Big 12 was going to be like, and I still didn't even know what the Big 12 was going to be like as far as baseball competition until this past year when I finally got to play in it. But I think my senior year of high school, I knew, hey, if you have the opportunity, then that the coaches are trusting in me that I'm good enough, so take it and run with it.
Yeah. No, I think that's super cool. I love it. Alrighty. Ashley Hodge asked, what's been your favorite memory at Baylor, on and off the field?
Okay. Off the field, shout out to the Baylor basketball team, whenever they won the national championship, that was insane. That was awesome. That was a great day. That's got to be the best off the field. There's so many other little things, but if we're talking about a big moment, got to go with that.
So
and
cool.
Then on the field, I have to say my freshman year, whenever we went to we played in the Shriners Classic in Houston. We beat LSU and Arkansas, who were both ranked top 10 teams, and then Missouri, another SEC school, and we swept that tournament, which was huge. And that was my first time of like, all right, this is what college baseball is like, and it was so much fun.
Isn't that at Minute Maid Park?
It is.
Oh, that is so cool. I love it. Y'all didn't go last year?
No, we went to the AAA field in Round Rock, Dell Diamond. So,
what did you do going back to the men's basketball game? Were you like out like on the streets or anything, or did you go watch it?
I had to watch. So we had this theory that me and my roommate, because we watched every March Madness game together when the Bears were playing, so we had to watch it on our couch, same spot. It was the good mojo, and so we did that. And then after the game, we went out in the streets and celebrated. Everybody's driving around, honking the horns. It was so much fun.
It was crazy.
Blast.
I literally was like, I'm going to go to the stadium. They were watching the game. They had it like on at the McLean Stadium. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go there. Everything. I like got out of practice. I showered and I was like, I'm going to sit right here on my couch. But that was crazy.
It was awesome.
It was so cool. Alrighty. So another question we have, and I don't know if I'm saying this right. Arlette Better. Is that right? Okay, I'm going to re-say it. Okay. The next question is with Arlette Better, and he asked, how do you feel recruiting is headed at Baylor? And if you don't know.
No, I think just a good answer, because I don't really know a lot of the younger guys that are still in high school. However, I know that based on the recruiting classes that we've had come through here at Baylor, I'm confident that there's going to be a solid squad behind us, because I know it just keeps getting better each year. Talent keeps getting better, and with the coaches and what they've done, being able to get the team to the regional, despite last year, I promise it's going to be a different year this year.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be really set for hopefully a long time.
Yeah. No, y'all have a lot of guys coming in. Okay. And then Brown BW asked, favorite major league player and why?
Honestly, I don't really have a favorite, but if I had to pick somebody and constantly watch them, I'd have to go with Mike Trout as far as just an overall baseball player. But if I had to sit there and watch somebody in the outfield, Kevin Kiermaier, he's He's just a beast. You probably don't know him, but
I don't know who any of those two people are. I know.
You gotta know Mike Trout.
I know Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
he's an outfielder.
Yeah, for the Green Bay Packers outfielder.
Oh God! Don't put that in there.
No, you have to. You have to.
Okay. The last question is actually gonna be from me. So. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed right now.
That's so funny. I left that in there. I was trying to carry it on, so you gotta leave it.
No, you can definitely leave it. Oh my God, this is so sad. Oh, my dad's gonna be so proud. So you had a superstition in high school. You put like your left sock on, then your left cleat, and then you did your right.
Right.
Do you still have that superstition?
Still do it.
Really?
It's just what I've always done. Left goes before right. And then when I go up to bat, I have to put on, like we wear like an arm guard thing. Mm-hmm. So I always put that on first, and then I put in my sliding mitt, and then I put on my batting gloves, and then the bat, and then the helmet. It's just a routine.
Have you ever messed it up?
I have, but I go back to it whenever I fail, so it's all right.
Well, what are y'all's team goals for this 2022 season?
Ultimately, it's of course to go to Omaha and play for the College World Series, but we need to start with the regional first, totally, and just take it day by day, step by step. But I think with, like I said, we have so much talent for my class especially, and then the new guys and the younger guys. And then you look at last year, we had a lot of fifth years move on, and to see kind of the legacy that they left and to understand what it takes to make a regional, because they all did it in the past, I think we can build off of that and start with winning the Big 12 and then keep winning from there.
And what are your goals, your personal goals?
Oh, to have a better year than last year. We'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm super excited.
Yes.
Hopefully I'll come to more games.
Yes.
It's hard because track and baseball are at the same time, but I'm going to make an effort for
okay.
sure.
I need to go to a track meet. I've never been, so maybe I need to make it out for one or just see an event.
Alrighty, Jared, that was an awesome conversation. I'm so glad we got to go over a ton of things. It was awesome getting to know more about baseball, getting to know more about you and just the things that you've been through, like going through COVID and traveling to Cape Cod and learning things about yourself that you really didn't go through. Talking about education and faith like that, it just shows how you are more than an athlete, and other people are going to see that and they're going to know more things about you. So I think that's the whole thing about this podcast, is for you to grow not only as a baseball player, but in other things as well. So thank you so much again. I think for the next episode, I'm going to try to get an equestrian girl on here. I think that's a sport that needs more light on. So I'm super excited about that. And for follow-ups, you can look on sikkim365.com for updates, and you can follow my YouTube channel. That's The Untold Stories. And you can also follow my Instagram at _Untold_stories99. Thank you, guys.